Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again. We're here taking a look at game number 3. It all comes down to this: upper bracket, lower bracket, who's going where, Evil Geniuses versus Team Liquid in the decider match. Andy, we've gone both ways. First, it was a stomp onto the favor of EG,
Hello.
and then afterwards, it was a stomp into the favor of Team Liquid. What are you thinking?
I mean, last game I feel was a definite draft win for Liquid. Like they obviously played it well. They knew what their lineup was meant to do. You always have to execute, but their lineup just it played the exact opposite game that EG wanted to play, which was fast. Because the only hero that EG even fielded last game who wasn't, too opposed to chaotic like fighting was the Spirit Breaker.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else is really slow. Like CM, slow hero, Morphling, slow hero, OD, needs like one or two items. There's just a lot of I don't know. For me, there was a lot of question marks about the way they rounded out their lineup in the previous match. But those types of things, you look over it once and you go, oh, okay, we're just not gonna, we're not gonna make that mistake twice. We'll keep an eye out to see if the lone druid pops up. If maybe we want to ban it, let something else through. Because I think that hero specifically is what enables that type of lineup to work. Because without the lone druid, you can't just mash your face into Roshan at like 11 minutes and kill it. It's not gonna go well for you.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised to see them just ban it out here. It does let some other things through, but yeah, they just take it out. There's no reason not to. Don't give them a comfort hero.
Yeah, it's the easiest solution. You don't have to think about it. You just ban it. But yeah, that's why I was surprised. Like in the earlier series, like Liquid just not picking Lone Druid. I'm like, you guys are really good with this hero. Why aren't you playing it? People aren't banning it against you. Make them ban it at least.
Yeah.
You got to give him a wake up call. Be like, hey, we play this hero.
10 seconds.
Respect
remaining.
it. And now, we're into the third game.
Here we are.
5 seconds.
It's all happening.
remaining.
What then do they want to let through? Because that's the big question, right? Like Disruptor is still in the pool. So too is Slark. What else is there? Timber, Omni. I think that's the extent of the heroes that have been getting banned out over and over and over again. So one of those 4.
I think
Liquid's turn
I was gonna say there is another option where they just let them both through, because now it's like saying, okay, well, we can still fourth pick that Timber like EG did before, and then we can have if you forget about it, we're gonna have a really nice Timber game. Alternatively, if they just pick Slark, all of a sudden it makes Timber a lot harder to run, depending on the dual lane that he can run into, because Timber is not actually that good against Slark in lane if the support is strong. Because then you can just hit him a lot and he can't really commit, because even though reactive's great, Essence Shift just steals all your stats, and over time it's not gonna be great for you. But yeah, they open with the Treant again. The last game, Treant was super effective. They had that Leshrac Treant lane that just completely
5
dominated
seconds
Ramses. Not
remaining.
much you could do about that one.
Yeah, I think if you run that type of a thing again, then I mean, it obviously can't happen now because the Omni Knight's out of the pool. They banned it themselves. But any hero really is going to have, I think, a tough time with it. They're going to take the Slark, so not really that afraid of the big AoE damage yet. What are they going to take to protect this? Because we've seen it before with Omni. We've seen it before with IO. Those are both banned out. Do you need to protect it?
I mean, the heroes that you're really scared of are any illusion-based heroes. Typically, the
10
Naga
seconds
PL.
remaining.
Naga obviously made it into the first phase bans, and then the other heroes are
5
like
seconds
OD,
remaining.
the guys who have really big burst, anything that has a lot of ground AOE,
Team Liquid's
and I believe
turn.
Liquid play AA, correct? So
Yeah.
if they wanted to,
was
they
just
could go
saying,
for
yeah.
that route. They're going to take the Lesh right now, and I think that EG are probably either going to ban OD or PL, one of the two at least. And then something else that I don't know if they'll ban them both, but
Evil Geniuses turn to
like last
ban.
game they played the safe lane Leshrac, so EG have to have that fresh in their minds. So they're probably only going to ban the hero that might get played mid, I guess, in this case, which would most likely be OD.
So I was kind of thinking about things too here, because like the Leshrac does reveal that core. It's probably more active than a lot of the heroes that we've been seeing Liquid play
10
previously.
seconds remaining.
I think that's one of the reasons why I just really like it in this game. But we
5
haven't seen
seconds
a lot of
remaining.
Tiny, and that was something I was kind of curious
Team
about. It feels like
Liquid's
it could be
turn to
kind of nice
ban.
against EG's lineup already. Big tanky boy, get up in there, make some stuff happen. Does it overlap too much with like the Treant? Can you not really run a four
No,
one
no,
of
no.
those?
That's not a thing.
Okay,
It's only scary when there's like an enigma on the enemy team or something that really punishes you for grouping up.
okay,
So I think Quickfoot definitely plays Tiny.
10
If it is
seconds
Mickey
remaining.
on the old Lesh for the second time in a row, but yeah, I don't
5
mind Tiny
seconds
either, just from the
remaining.
standpoint that, like you mentioned, he can play that fast tempo. The big thing is, though, if you're going to go that route and you want to play this mid hero that's going to go early blink and stuff, then you need to make sure that you can actually secure buildings.
mm,
Like Leshrac with the Max Edict is nice and everything, but it's not quite the same as a lone druid bear with like 3 items at 20 minutes walking into your tower. That's a bit more ominous to
EV
deal with as a
Genius's
Slark.
turn to
yeah.
All right,
ban.
there goes the OD.
They ban it themselves though.
Yeah, that means that they have something else in mind that they want for the mid. They also know that they don't have overall last pick, so they're probably going to pick a hero for Quakefa that doesn't really want to play into OD.
I mean, that still fits with Tiny if they wanted to do that.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
there's a lot
exactly.
of other heroes that fit that mold. Um,
It
okay.
just opens up the mid options a little
10
bit more
seconds
because there's some
remaining.
matchups where you're playing against, this OD where you just kind of
5
suffer
seconds
Mhm.
and you're
remaining.
sitting there and you're getting banished like every other wave or whatever, and it's just kind of miserable. It just means that the mid player is going to have a much more pleasant time.
Is Kunkka dead now?
I don't know if he's like dead, but there are a lot of matchups that he simply cannot play,
Right.
like Viper,
OD.
Razor, Huskar. There's a lot of heroes that can walk to the mid lane now. A good Monkey King can also beat Kunkka. That one's a little bit more difficult, I would say. Timber, who's still in the pool.
Mhm.
There's just so many cheeses for
Right.
Huskar or for Kunkka now. He's kind of been like figured out in the
Right.
laning phase. I think that's his main issue at the moment,
Okay.
and especially since people are prioritizing mid. In this game, at least, if they're not first phasing
EV
Abed's hero, then he pretty
Genius's
much has to
turn to
have
pick.
a really late pick, right? Or
Yeah.
at least you would assume.
Yeah. I just know I like it against both Slark and Leshrac a lot. Like Lesh obviously builds Yules, but you can kind of prep for that and like bait them into using the Yules, and then you've got an easy setup also with Torrent and Boat. And then Slark obviously just big AoE damage. It's always pretty nifty.
Well, the
10
thing about
seconds
Kunkka versus
remaining.
Slark is that you have to kind of bait his
5
Dark Pact, because if
seconds
you
remaining.
time the torrent wrong,
Right.
he's just going to walk out of it even if you X him back.
Hmm.
So it is tricky to play Kunkka into Slark if the Slark is used to the matchup. And like I mentioned before, since they are 21st pick and not 22nd pick, it is a very scary prospect picking a hero like that who can get cheese.
Totally. Okay. Well, EG taking a lot of time with their
Team
third pick,
Liquid's
down to
turn to pick.
29 reserve time, and they're going to snatch away the Tiny for themselves, but Liquid coming out with the immediate answer. They knew what they wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured they would go for this just because when they can't, it seems this is their go-to against Slark when they can't get their hands on something else like an OD. And like you mentioned, they banned out themselves a little bit earlier. So it just seems to be a comfort thing for them. They have good setup. They have overgrowth. Obviously,
10 seconds
the
remaining.
grasp from Tree and Protector will help, as well as the stun from Lesh to make sure that
5
that
seconds
ice cream
remaining.
hits good.
Wow. Yo, let's put Boxy on Lesh. Get ourselves a Void. I want to see that for Liquid. That sounds real nifty.
That was kind of in the back of my mind. The way the picks are going to work out, let's see. So yeah, they're going to have to show uh, so if I were Liquid right now, I would actually pick my safe laner,
Okay.
and then I would pick my mid laner, and then I would pick my safe laner after the next fan phase.
So EG run this Venomancer. This is what we saw earlier out of Ramses, but as you mentioned in that series against Pain, the strength of this pick was because there was an IO in the game, and that allowed him to just hold a lane. And they're gonna do
Oh,
it.
they're gonna go for it. Okay.
I mean, this could also be revealing their mid as Leshrac, but as we talked about before, it's kind of not what we expect out of Quakefa normally.
Yeah, it's a nice audible. If they were to run the same way they did last game, where they had Mickey and the Leshrac, then it would have made more sense to pick the mid hero instead, because that guy is going to have a counter pick anyway. Whereas you see both of the side lanes right now if you're Liquid, so
5
picking a hero
seconds
that knows
remaining.
its lane matchup
Team
makes more sense than
Liquid's
picking one that
turn to
doesn't.
ban.
Mhm.
And so now, like showing the Void, it pretty much says for sure what the lanes are going to be for Liquid. So it is still a good pick. There's not really anything that counters Void on EG's team, and the old ice cream into time stop is very powerful.
I like that. It's like a game of taboo where you can't say the hero
10
names,
seconds
but you need to
remaining.
Yeah,
just like describe them. I like that.
you just
Um,
hit him with the
5
jazz hands, you
seconds
know.
remaining.
yeah, they have the goo guy though. The goo guy who's good. All right, that's not as good. So you had
It's
the
all
better
right, man.
one.
It takes.
You
I mean,
know,
I just like to call him Gacky. You know,
Gaggy. You know what he
you
reminds me
just.
of? You remember Jurassic Park, the thing that like spews stuff all over Newman's head?
Oh yeah, when he's in the jeep or whatever, and it
Yeah,
like his neck like opens up, and yeah, it's
that's
pretty
Viper.
spooky stuff.
Mm.
I forget what those things are called actually. They're
I'm,
like mini velociraptors, but they had like the crazy big necks or whatever.
yeah, they fly.
That's terrifying. I don't want to be alive with dinosaurs.
They actually don't fly. I'm just kidding. They
Okay,
did. You
Jesus, nightmare fuel, man. Thank you. That's what I need in my dreams now.
You just got to say it with conviction. People believe it. Hey, we might
Dude,
have
that's all it's about.
a last pick here.
Geniuses,
What's it gonna be?
turn to pick.
Oh, the guy.
Okay. All right, so this pretty much has to be Abed too. Is it time for? Nah, I think it's too greedy. I was gonna say there's an opportunity for them to meepo and just play a fast game, but I think it's maybe with Slark it's not so hot. All right, what else?
10 seconds remaining.
Okay,
Templar
TA, a
assassins
classic.
your hero.
Interesting. So they go for the Quake Valesh. Boxy is going to be playing the Doom. When we saw this previously, this actually looks really similar to the lineup that Liquid had to deal with the TA that Mandy was playing. And what they did there was they just chronoed Mandy, and then they doomed Mandy, and then they ice blast Mandy, and then they earth split Mandy with Leshrac. And then Mandy was no more.
There was also a Viper that game.
That's fair.
And I think it was a shaker, right? Because he kept getting echoed.
Oh, that's what it was. You're right.
Yeah, he kept getting echoed and Viper struck and ice blasted and chronoed, and I'm just like, I feel for this guy. It was like the most painful game of TA I've ever seen. And his team couldn't do anything to help him either. That was the worst part.
Right.
It's not like they had this hero that was gonna, counter initiate. They just had to watch their friend get murdered. It was unpleasant. But yeah, the TA last pick, it's pretty good against Void. There's not too many ways to quickly break refraction through BKB, at least this game. So when Abed hits his item timings, he's still going to be quite strong. It's a fine matchup against Leshrac. And then on top of that, you got Ramses just occupying different points on the map. I don't think it's going to be quite as potent as the Venomancer game we saw against Pain earlier.
Right.
Because their heroes are not as Blink Dagger reliant. So in that game, there was like a Shaker, a Legion, some other hero that really wanted to be able to initiate with the daggers. But this game, they have natural mobility on the Void. He can just leap in, and cast his spells. Doom can kind of walk forward with a Scorched Earth on, need some spells too. So we'll see how well he can play this matchup. Because earlier he owned.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was a clinic on how to play Veno by Ramses in the series earlier. But yeah, I'm not sure who I really favor this game. It's I usually have a tendency to lean towards a team that has the better team fight ultimates and like the AoE damage against heroes like Slark because they really struggle to play into that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But I think also the thing that I would imagine you're thinking about is there's a lot of low cost initiation from EG where they can poke and pry and make some things happen, maybe pick off somebody and then get out because they have that good mobility, and Veno just makes everything really hard to run away from or to run after, to chase.
Yeah, for sure.
So that to me feels like it's going to be the story of this game is trying to catch Slark, trying to catch TA. And I mean, Chrono's a good way to do it.
Yeah, I think another important thing here is to note how Liquid lanes this.
Oh, did you see
if
that?
They want to do if they want to do the tri lane,
Seconds
it can shut down the Veno super hard.
Okay. That could be a good way to do it. Just sort of run in there and make sure he doesn't get his ball rolling. Crit walked over underneath the tower vision. Not underneath the tower vision, but in the tower range, and he realized that there was a ward up there that spotted him. So they're going to be able to get a D ward there mid.
Did he get hit by the tower or something?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
He walked in the area where the tower gets damage, but not vision. So he's going to look exactly where it is right now and Well, I don't know what he's doing, actually. The hell is he doing?
Well, he doesn't have money for a sentry, but he's got it on his quick buy. So
Okay.
he'll come back for it. Don't worry.
All right. He's just running back and forth. Oh, is he going to try and snipe couriers? I mean, he knew that there's a sentry or a ward there, so he knows that they see him.
Come on, one of you guys has to cancel this, right?
Chase.
All right, they're gonna make him run away. Okay.
Yeah. No free hit for him there. Mid lane, Abed versus Koikva. Is this just the normal try and Psyblade him whenever possible? Like, how much kill potential is there here?
For the Leshrac, almost 0.
Okay.
For the TA, it's going to be down to however many Psyblades you can get. But that being said, Abed takes a pretty good chunk of damage to secure that range creep. Yeah, the heroes can kind of ignore each other if they want, and then eventually, you know, the TA is going to start doing the jungle rotations and stuff. Lesh will do the same once he hits 6.
Oh, courier snipe? Almost. Fly not able to get into range. Let's get some extra vision there onto Boxy, who's taken a bit of a beating and is going to be chased further and further underneath the tower. So he's not going to be able to deny out the whole wave here, but is at least going to be able to get the full wave for himself.
I mean, anytime you you get that pull off, you always feel pretty good about it, even if the creeps get denied. Ramses, no bash, just gonna TP.
Gets himself out of there. Crit. He knows that there's a ward there, but Koikva actually had to run away. So I think that Koikva thought that he was going to be going back for the ward that was up on the high ground, but Crit actually makes the rotation over and almost catches him. And him just
being
staying
very
there.
careful to stay out of EXP range. He's looking at that courier and thinking, is there a way I can get around and punch that thing? Why not, though? CC bottom?
Careful, careful. Fly chasing Boxy. Can they get in range for a kill? Gonna toss in Fly. Nicely played there. And Boxy is going to drop because of it. Fairy Fire, but they have the Thunderstrike. And that's enough to draw first blood.
You know, it's the Around the World Tour with the Creep Wave and the 2 supports starring Boxy. That's just kind of what happens when you get left alone. Taiga has TP, though. So they've dismantled the tri-lane for now. They figure it's pretty much impossible for him to inhabit this lane, especially when Crit is more than willing to TP to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good response. I mean, that being said, man, Arteez is already level 4 and it's 2.5 minutes in. That's very high level.
Yeah, he just got all of that for himself and is sort of farming up this hard camp too at the same time. So very nice start for him on this Slark. Already boots up, so it's kind of hard for Taiga to see
XP
this.
than his mid player. That's all I'm gonna say. That's why that's high level.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. Speaking of his mid laner, Abed having a pretty good time here against this Lesh, up a couple CS. But they are bringing the full 3 up top as Taiga wants to make something happen against Ramses, who's going for the same type of build again, just maxing out those Plague Wards. Gonna get the pressure on whenever possible. And there is going to be a Leech Seed. Ramses does have the TP, but he knows that he is already gone. So will be giving up his life and then is going to TP back out to lane.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing about as well as the Doom. Doom's under tower now with the creep wave, so EXP-wise, they're more or less even. And Benno is much easier to kill than a Doom, so good on Ramses for only having the 1 death to his name at this point. The problem is, his wave is pushing into their tower, so he's not going to get any more EXP, whereas Boxy's going to get at least 1 or 2 more waves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, he actually got the pull off. Holy crap. What an all-star. Fly god. I didn't think he was going to be able to connect that, but he did. And top again, Ramses. He's getting bopped here. Oh my god, the bashes.
That's real bad now. So 50 seconds, no TP. I mean, do you just head off to jungle?
Yeah, I mean, you can. You have 2 points into the Plague Ward. He dropped the sentry assuming there was a lane ward, but he missed it, unfortunately. So the lane ward top for Liquid stays, which is why they're just able to so freely run at him and catch him out of position. Yeah, it might be time to just drop some Plague Wards in your triangle.
Okay. We'll see if that's the route he decides to go.
It doesn't look like he wants to do it, man. It looks like he's just going straight back. He's spamming his taunt button and everything. He's wiggling.
Ramsey's ready to go, man. He's having it.
Oh, he wants to contest the bounties. That's why he's walking back. He's
Okay.
actually going to get top. How the heck did this happen?
I don't know. That's kind of crazy. They were expecting him to be jungling, and then nobody went to go pick up the rune. Now they will see
All the
him.
supports just forgot.
Oh, God. Well, he's going to pay a price for it, though, it looks like. As the chase comes, thinking about even going underneath the tower, although the TP rotation coming from Crit, that keeps his offlaner alive. So that works out great for Ramses now. The wave is underneath their tower, so it's going to push out again.
I don't know about that.
No?
I mean, it'll push out a little. Okay, if he last hit that, like, if he autoed that wave, then it would have stayed balanced. But now that he didn't auto that creep, it's going to be under tower range again. So yeah, now it will push.
Okay.
I thought he might like auto the wave because sometimes it's better to like miss a CS or two than lose control of the wave.
Right.
And then now Ramses is going to try to block the pull with the wards as they get the crit on kill, and Abed solo kills quite tough.
I don't know. Looks like Crit was in there, too.
Oh, that's what killed crit. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. It was a 2v1. It's my bad.
I missed it completely in the thing, so yeah. It's pretty solid.
No one's on trial here, Gabe.
Exactly. Taiga boots. So the Windlace 2 ready to make his move around down towards bottom. Boxy still getting a good chunk of these creeps as Arteezy continues to farm underneath the tower. He's at the time of his life so far. Level 6 now at 6 minutes. Is going to be going straight, it looks like, into that Diffusal Blade. I feel like the days as, well, Chronosphere used up top, actually, to get the kill there onto Ramses.
Yeah, they're gonna keep killing him whenever they can. The worse game he has, the less likely it is that he'll be able to stay alive and play like that tower defense style of game that we saw him play earlier against Pain. So I'm just always a fan to see core players who aren't scared to throw their ults on heroes that are already like a little bit behind. Because some people will think, okay, well, I want to use it in a better way, or I want to use it on a hero who's having a better game to like slow them down. But you know, you just keep killing the same guy. He's level 3 at 7 minutes. He might die again.
Koikva caught here by Crit. They pull him back in. They rotate Fly for this kill as well. Mickey does kill Ramses, but the more important kill is mid, where they take down Koikva. And the thing that's nuts about this, and this is why I feel like this hero is so strong, Crit was level 2 when he ran in there to try and find that kill, and he made it happen. Like, Tiny's just insane.
Yeah, he's very fast. And the build that Crit goes, he goes for the Tranquils, Windlace. So Tiny's like 310 base. He loses 30 MS when he picks up the tree, but as the forward position Tiny, you know, you don't really care about picking up the tree. You look at the hustle.
Totally. Foxy comes to take over the mid lane for a little bit. Really hard for him to stay in the lane against the Slark, who is going to stack up the small camp here. And then come back in to finish off the creep wave afterwards, getting his much efficient farming on. Taiga gets the D ward. So story of the game so far, Ramsey's having a bad time on the Veno, lowest net worth on his team, but Crit kind of making up for it, as well as Fly.
Yeah, I think the game playing out right now, it probably is still fine for Liquid. Like, even though Arteezy's free farming and stuff, because they have the heroes to, you know, deal with it. They're gonna throw a Chrono at him. They're gonna doom him at some point. You know, Ice Blast, all this stuff. So there's gonna come a point in the game where it's gonna be really scary for, you know, Arteezy to go to really any fights. He's gonna want BKB, you know, maybe a Lincoln's. I mean, it's tough because itemizing against a Doom and a Void is nearly impossible. You're gonna get caught by something at some point, right? And it's just going to be the end of your hero, and you have to hope that your team can clean up. Whereas the Void, there does come a point in this game where he becomes extremely hard to kill, right? Like, once he gets his own BKB, his Mjolnir, whatever. Bottom lane Taiga, gonna get jumped here by Crit.
And getting a little bit more of that Essence shift. Permanent stacks up for the Slark.
Chrono again on Ramsey's top.
Dude.
I've never seen such hate for a snake in my life.
We were talking about it, like this Liquid lineup that we've seen previously. It feels like the way that they like to play it is just all inning on that one hero. And against Pain, it was Mandy, and looks like Ramses is getting the treatment this time.
Yeah, but like I said, you know, if you don't want to go anywhere else and drop the ulti, like, you know, your AA is not 6 yet, so it's pretty hard to kill the Void with just Chrono. Like, you don't really have the follow-up damage, right? So it just kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, keep Chronoing him because that's the guy you can kill. You can't kill the TA.
Radiant
TA is not even going to be
scanning.
playing the side of the map that you want to be on, really. And until you have Ice Blast, Arteezy is just a little bit too difficult to take down. So Outposts, Mickey has no chrono here.
Abed shows up. A big old battle looking like it's ensuing, but they get the Doom off onto the TA, who stuck around and gets punished. Abed, not where he wanted to be.
Yeah, I don't know. That was very strange. Like, he doesn't even have an item yet. He doesn't have his Deso, he doesn't have his Blank. He just wanted to try to walk top, I guess, to go for the double. Because he knew that Arteezy and Crit were going to be able to get bottom. Doom is the only one showing.
I wonder if
They
he
got
just
the
didn't
tap.
see Quakefa or something. That's the only explanation. I
Well,
can
yeah,
think
he
of.
was in fog for sure. But I
Right.
mean, like, that's one of those plays that you kind of have to anticipate. Okay, he's either going to be top or he's going to be bottom. Ice Blast kills Fly in the mid lane as he shatters. But I think that's just one of those movements where it's not even about should you expect him to be there or not. It's why did you make that movement when you're so close to an item and you know your team already got an outpost anyway.
Right. Yeah.
That's the thing that makes me kind of go, I don't know.
Well, it is a nice pickup, definitely, as they're going to go for the toss in immediately onto the tree there, and that is a very nifty way to play it. The Ghetto Blink Dagger.
All right, we got some jelly coming out on a TA. We got a Faded Brooch. Really cool early game item. I think they're probably just going to give it to the Lesh, though. That's like the Lesh dream item. Mana and movement speed? Yes, please.
That's the way to be. I think we also have, yeah, there's a mango tree up here on the high ground near the jungle, where Quakefa's just like eating through those things. And now is going to have Boots of Travel too. I'm always very interested to see where players and teams put the mango tree, because I think that like there's definitely the value of the vision, but then there's also like this type of one. It's good vision, but it's also just like a good place to regen on all your farm.
Yeah.
So you don't have to head back to base.
Yeah, the other bonus of putting it here is that we saw a lot of the mango trees at Roshan before, where people would be scouting out the Roche. Not really anyone on this team wants to walk to Roche early regardless, but those ones are really common spots.
Yeah.
And people have coiling blades, so they walk by and they just like they kill the ward or kill the tree or whatever, and then that's that. But this one is going to be a lot harder for them to feel confident just walking into, because it's right on top of a hill and it's right next to a shrine.
Yeah.
So the likelihood of someone on EG just casually walking up there and killing it, as we say that, of course, they smoke. And knowing me, they will probably walk right into it and quelling blade it.
You got a special talent for it.
Dude, this is it's hard to do this actually, like so consistently.
Ooh, hello, Mr. Boxy getting caught. And that is the first usage of the Diffusal Blade. Not really needed, obviously, but they do manage to burn through him real quickly. Now back behind the tower, Ancient Apparition. Void is moving over. Mickey wants to get there as quickly as possible. I don't care about any of these other heroes. If they could chrono Arteezy at this point in the game, this would be huge for them. And they see him. They got eyes on him right at the start. Mickey thinking about going. He's got the time walk forward, able to find him. And now the AA blast afterwards. There's no way to solve this. Unless you just walk away. No, but he got caught there. And it's about to wear off. One more jump away. The snowball from downtown catches him out. And now chasing for more. They're going to be able to find Fly. Liquid knowing what they need to do, but it's going to be a blink and TP from Abed that saves his life.
And mid lane looks like we see a Doom here on the Ramses, but Boxy's not. I don't know. I don't know what that was about. Maybe he just wanted to force a reaction. Maybe he saw the TA top and wanted to go for it.
Okay. Yeah. Doesn't manage to make anything happen there. I wonder if like the Veno was TPing or something. Maybe no, he still has his TP on cooldown. Oh, Ice Blast! Ooh, that was scary.
Easy dodge. Ramses knew what he was doing the whole time. This AA is very high level though. He's higher level than the freaking Veno.
Yeah. Is he dead?
Nah, he's
Oh,
okay.
got his TP back. All right, that keeps him alive.
TP back. No vessel just yet. On the AA.
Well, Avalanche, Boxy, they catch him again, bring him down. And now Crit, chase forward. They're going to get the glimpse away. So that keeps Mickey out of the fight, but it looks like Fly is still going to die. So they'll lose the two supports on EG in exchange for the Doom.
Yeah, it was a nice timing. They knew that all the ults were down, so they just cast Chrono on Arteezy. They just cast Doom on the on the Venom when they wanted to try to make something happen. They get some kills, but they don't really get an objective, which kind of hurts, I think, if you're in EG shoes right now. You do eventually want to take like the mid-tier 1. Obviously, sooner the better, because there is 4 points in a living armor right now on Taiga. He's opted for the more like keep my tower alive type of thing, keep the map control stuff going. Bounty runes, 2 for Liquid, should be 2 for EG as well. No one really on the top side of the map for him. And it looks like they're forming up towards bot. Chrono on cooldown for about 30 seconds. And Mickey's TP will coincide with that cooldown. So if they really want to commit, we should look to see him TP bottom when it comes up.
Okay.
Or they'll just try to kill RTZ again, whichever, because the AA is nearby.
Yeah, that would be really nice for them. We also see one of the really good items on the Void as well. Ring of Aquila. Crit moves in. They see that the mango tree is there. It's done. Adios.
If that timing had been even like 10 seconds later, he would have just got Chrono and died.
Yeah. But of course, that's part of the reason, I'm sure, is like heading over that direction, just checking out the area, seeing if they can find anything. Is he dead as well?
Yeah, mega dead.
He's done so. So another kill for the Slark. And still, though, the big problem that you're mentioning is this is not taking the tier 1 tower mid. It's slowly being whittled away by the Veno, but I mean, the tree is still going to be alive in a second. Maybe they could try and like push to take it down before tree's back up again. I don't know.
That's way too YOLO. Yeah. There's a Chrono up with a TP. There's an Ice Blast. Like if you walk into this tower and you like clump up at all, you're just all dead.
Yeah.
It's way too spooky to do stuff like that. And chip damage isn't a thing against Treant for reasons that we will see now that Taiga is alive again. You have to kind of like all in the tower. That's the one thing about Treant that I think people kind of forgot about, because so many people keep doing the 4-2-0 build, so the Nature's Grasp and Leech Seed, where you just do a lot of damage and you punch people to death. But this build is really good in some situations where you know the enemy team is not really going to be able to fully commit to a tower unless they know your ults are down. So then you can just keep spamming that armor on the tower forever. And if the enemy team can't ever commit to a fight, then that tower is never going to get chipped down. It just doesn't work.
Well, and the answer to the Venomancer in some ways. I guess that it's not really the biggest deal in the world for Ramses in this game, because he can still keep the lane pushed out and get more and more farm on the Slark, but we've kind of talked it to death at this point, it feels like. But if Mickey gets to that stage of the game, and now he's got this BKB where he's just, you know, unencumbered by the spells coming at him, he's going to be able to take over. All right.
Yeah, there's like a... Oh, here we go.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to be able to find a kill-off crit here. So he goes down. And on the other side, they do scan. Arteezy TP's in with the Disruptor, seeing if they can maybe find vision or something. But it doesn't look like they're going to get anybody. Take out the Observer Ward. Now he's going to head in.
There's kind of this power like peak for the Void, like you were talking about, where he gets the BKB and there's not really a lot of things that can stop him. But if for whatever reason Fly can get the Aghanims, there is the potential for, you know, that jump out of like a smoke, or like, you know, Crit eventually gets his blink into like a toss storm.
Ooh. And you see right here the smoke up. They have an inkling. They know that Slark is over here. What are they doing though? They're going to head over to check Roche, I guess? I mean,
there is a TA with a death, so checking Roche is not like super crazy.
Yeah, that's fair. But they won't get Arteezy, it looks like now, with that smoking movement from the Faceless Void. So still relatively even, with the main person behind right now being Ramses, who's still just sitting mid, throwing out his little E button here and there.
Yeah, the game is slowed down a bit. It's understandable from EG's perspective, because fighting into Liquid's Chronosphere, AA Blast combo, Overgrowth, all this stuff, it's pretty scary. And they don't really have the best heroes at forcing out spells the way they want. Like, they don't have that Spear Breaker type hero like they did in the previous match. It's going to be able to just kind of run in and make them cast spells. So the way the fights have to go is basically like either A, you have to have better vision and know that you're going to outnumber them. But if they're standing next to a tier 1, kind of hard to outnumber them, because you know there's going to be TPs.
Right.
Yeah, it's a tough game right now for EG. The net worth is close, But you can tell by the hesitance that they have that they're respecting the team fight of Liquid a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Dire
Absolutely.
are scanning.
Quakefa down here positioned to try and interrupt this from crit, but he needs to be a little bit careful. Stun comes out. They're able to hit him. They steal the other outpost, and that does mean double outpost going the direction of Liquid, and they're also going to lose the Tiny.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a rough one. I'm just wondering when EG decide that they have the items they need to go. Maybe it's just Arteezy's BKB. If he gets the BKB off before the chrono hits him, he might be able to live.
Okay.
He will still probably get doomed anyway, or they'll doom the TA, depending on how the fight's going. I guess for him it would be better if the TA got doomed, but I suppose we'll have to see.
Yeah. It does almost
This
feel
is-
like he's going to need to go some type of status resistance build along the way also, just to, like, live through the doom.
Well, it's either that or just, like, Satanic is fine because it's just HP and lifesteal, and I think lifesteal is the important thing. Mid, they're going to catch Boxy here.
Okay.
His team was not nearby.
Pressure, pressure.
Maybe this is an actual tower kill here. We'll see.
Now let's
They
think
are
about
ready,
it.
though.
Moving in, jump forward, Chrono there, onto 2. They throw the Ice Blast onto the Venomancer, but he's going to be able to get his ulti off after the fact, and now jumping is Arteezy. He's already laying into Mickey a little bit. The root comes out afterwards. They're able to Dark Pact it off, and with that duration of the BKB, Mickey finds the kill onto Abed as well. So Liquid finally coming together and making it work, and they won't lose their tower.
They do need to be a bit careful, okay.
Jump forward. All right, that's the BKB from the Slark. So instead, they chase forward for a second round of this, and Quakefa's just getting laid into here. Does go for the Eul Scepter lift up, trying to stay alive. Not much mana, but they are going to have to back out as
Bottom tower is under
they
attack.
do retreat away. So finding the kill onto Mickey, a little bit of salvation there.
Yeah, that was a big streak too. 900 gold going to crit. He's going to be super stoked about that one.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, RTZ gets doomed. Wait, there's no follow-up. Where's his team? Boxy, what are
Oh
you
my
doing?
God, he's doomed, but he's still going in. Oh no, the turnaround. Ice Blast, it's going to be there. It connects onto him. And now he has to walk out, but he has to be careful because Quakefa's there with the Eul Scepter. And just when it was looking okay, can he get out of there? No, he will not escape. Manages to find the leash from the grave, but Abed cleans up on that Lesh, and now the mute, the pull back in, they get the TP out of there, but the toss back in onto Boxy, seeing if they can find this finish onto the Doom, which they will. Ghost Scepter coming out from that Ancient Apparition, and now they've rooted up this Void, but there is no extra follow-up to find that kill.
Boy, that whole engagement was a mess, huh?
Yeah.
Like, Boxy's team, when he went in, was so far away. Thank God he had BKB. Because
Yeah.
if he didn't have BKB there, he would have died, like, way faster than his team would have been able to help him. The bad part is the Leshrac just died, like, twice in a row.
Mhm.
Like, he died in the first mid-engagement, and then he died in the second mid-engagement, and now he went from being, like, one of the most farmed heroes on the map to below the TA and the Slark. So you got to be really careful with this hero because you don't have that much armor to play with, and you're also up against a TA
Mhm.
who has mass minus armor with the meld, so it's 8 plus 7, 15. You basically are taking peer damage from Abed if he gets a meld off. So it's very, very scary stuff.
Well, and we saw there as well, like the jump onto the Slark, or rather the Slark trying to take the fight after he was doomed. It looks like it could be solid, but there's always that caveat of like the Ice Blast that comes in from the Ancient Apparition afterwards, or even just the Lesh walking forward. I think the Ice Blast is the one that's like the real key, where if he gets hit with that, he's going to be hurting. As they pull back in the tree, Ramses hits him with the Gale. They have a clumsy net for him. And all to the service of trying to get Arteezy into position. They still have Chrono available. Mickey thinking about a jump, but not going to go for it.
Here we go, Boxy.
Toss back again, BKB out. Ice armors and walks away. Does have a glimpse onto the Disruptor if they can keep the vision,
Radiant's
but
bottom
doesn't look like they'll
tower
get
is
it
under attack.
before the BKB wears out.
Forcing his BKB charges is really good, though. His 10 and 9 second BKB were both used. The first charge, he still ended up dying. He got, like, glimpsed, and then Crit went in and tossed him even further back into the team to ensure that he died. But yeah, this is the type of game where if your BKBs get low on Liquid, the game gets a lot scarier for you. Like especially for like heroes like Void and Doom who are very susceptible to dying to spells this game. Like a stun toss combo into a storm will definitely kill the Void if he doesn't have BKB, things like that.
Jump forward to the side here. Crit gonna Yules himself up. That means no kill.
He didn't item check there. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only way he lives, right? So if you click on crit and you know that he has Yules, then you just bait the stun. That way he Yules himself and you just stun after.
Repair kit
Dire
for
are
the
scared.
Void. We've seen that used against EG previously, and I mean, this is a lineup, I think, for EG where they want to get active super early. They already have some heal coming down their towers, though, with the tree, so...
I mean, they're still getting what they want out of the map. That's the main thing that's important for EG is they're not getting constricted, right?
Yeah.
Like Arteezy's still farming, Abed's still farming. There's a lot of heroes just kind of congregating around the mid lane. But that doesn't really hurt the cores of EG unless one of them gets like ulted.
That's fair enough. Smoke up by the AA. It looks like the smoke broke on the other ones. Crit is back here, blinks away. Avalanche. Get the Shadow Dance out from the Slark. That stops this gank from succeeding.
That is an ult from a man who has seen too many Chronospheres. He's like, I know how this goes. You don't do this to me.
Never again.
I don't want to get put in the time hole. All right, Boxy, another BKB forced. You know, EG take that. It's like if you're gonna keep forcing BKBs in the Doom, eventually he's gonna get down to 5 seconds, and you know you're not gonna be able to just freely run away anymore. But Liquid they can't get trapped in this deadlock of a game where they're not really able to force fights. They do need to still accomplish some stuff on the map.
Definitely.
Like Taiga's bottom and he's trying to side lane push and whatever, but they're sitting on their ultimates for a very long
Dire's
time.
middle tower is under attack.
Yeah. And this is kind of the problem that we saw in game number 1, wasn't it? Where, you know, EG were falling behind early. Not that they've fallen that far behind. I mean, there hasn't been a substantial net worth change one way or the other, but it's the experience that's been favoring Liquid. And then maybe get a little bit too complacent or maybe not feeling as confident with their timing as they would have wanted otherwise. And they end up losing the game when they get out of control. I still agree with you, though, that, like, this lineup from Liquid, I almost always would take it as the favorite in any 5-on-5 team fight at any point in this game.
I think that's true if you don't think about Disruptor Eggs.
Okay, that's fair.
That's like always the X factor, right?
Yeah.
In any game, if you find that one good Static Storm opening, it can completely change how a fight goes. Obviously, that's a whole nother like can of worms. You have the vision, you get the right jump, blah blah blah. But it's just a thing that can happen.
Ward battle mid. Are able to get the D ward immediately as it was placed. And the wraparound coming. I mean, this is what we saw from Pain before, too, was Ramsey's just sitting in a lane and then all of Pain hanging out wanting to take the tower. Liquid are now doing a very similar type of maneuver where they realize that, all right, that's not going to work. Let's go into Roche.
Okay. I mean, they're killing it pretty fast. If EG want to do this, they gotta go. Yeah, here we go. Smoke up.
They scan. They know. Benno, he's going to walk in from the wrap around angle. It's down super duper low. They see it in there already. Ramses throws out the Gale. More illusions. Jump forward. Avalanche toss, but Mickey, he already popped the BKB and now chasing for a bit more. Seeing if they can find this kill onto Crit. So they'll get the Aegis, and it looks like they'll be able to get out.
And they didn't really react fast enough. Like, even at the end when Roshan had already fallen, Arteezy wasn't even there yet, so...
Yeah.
He didn't TP either. He just kind of casually walked over there. I don't know how much he, like... As a Slark, walking to that fight seems a bit suspect, you know? Because it's very likely that you're going to end up eating, you know, a Doom or a Chrono.
Yeah.
But yeah, nice move from Liquid, just securing the Aegis for Mickey. Going to be able to hopefully take the mid-tier 1. Yeah, I was going to say, I can't imagine EG wanting to defend this without their Tiny.
Right. Well, they bring in Ramses. And this man, if there's one
if
thing...
they can buy the time for the Tiny to respawn, then it's fine. I just mean, like, he was standing in front of the tower, and all of Liquid were walking at him, and I'm like, you probably don't want to be here until that guy's alive.
They just repair kit it and then laugh. Throw a bunch of plague words out there. Man, we've got tree and 2 repair kits. What a game. What a time to be alive.
Yeah, good luck ever killing a tower this game.
I love it. And in the meantime, we are getting close to the next round of outposts. So both teams going to get XP here. It looks like there'll be a trade-off of bounty runes as well.
There's another big thing, too, for Liquid's lineup coming up soon, and that's Taiga's Blink. He's already got the Meteor Hammer. Once he has the Blink, that's going to give them another way to start engagements, whereas right now, a lot of the pressure, you can tell, is on Mickey, right? Like, if he hits a bad chrono, that it's really bad for his team, and there's nothing really to lead into it. It's kind of just like, oh yeah, you got to go chrono.
Yeah.
And there's no Blink on a Doom, you know, no one else really can get in. The Leshrac doesn't want to be the first one in. But now with the tree having the Blink Dagger and the Overgrowth, there's another way for them to just have a hero go in, maybe be the sacrificial lamb to set up for better AoE ults.
Yeah, and, you know, that's the way to, at the very least, force some reactions, too. Like, maybe, you know, if you get into forcing a BKB afterwards or a Yule Scepter or something, then as they're trying to run away, you can find it afterwards if you need to. Definitely. As far as the pace of the game, though, are you feeling like Disruptor is going to be able to get to that Ags? Like, it seems like he's just been buying up support items over and over and over again. Got sentries queued up here.
Yeah, he seems to be settled on just having the Yules for now.
Yeah.
The thing that's going to decide whether or not he gets that item is the team fights. So, like, if they get a good fight and he lives through that engagement,
right,
he's going to get a huge amount of income, and that will most likely turn into an Aghanims. The other thing for EG is later the game goes, closer we get to 25 and a TA, Meld Bash plus like Bloodthorn Nullifier, that combination can also kill. And as of this moment, there is no item really on the side of Liquid that is going to be able to counter that specifically. There's like no Lotus, no Force Staff, no like E-Blades or anything. So if that comes out on the TA, they can blow up the Void. It is... You know, it is a Doom, essentially. And it's an insane amount of damage because it's a TA hitting you.
Another round of Avalanche. Crit's getting pretty big. We've seen sometimes these tinies that get into the, like, you know, 3 charges of toss and having the Avalanche, massive amounts of them just thrown out there. McKay's actually just going to pop Satanic mid. Jumps forward. Okay, crit, avalanche, toss, fly, still got eyes on him. Yule Scepter lift up. They have the Static Storm if they want to drop it, but not going to do it. Instead, they find the kill on the other side of the map on Arteezy. How did that happen? Just doomed?
Shadowblade, yeah. Boxy has Shadowblade, he didn't know.
Oh, wow. So they make a little bit of noise mid, then afterwards able to find the kill onto the Slark. Mickey still taking a lot of damage here. And avalanche, maybe a toss, not going for it yet.
He didn't blink close enough. That's actually that's a big mistake. If he blinked closer, he would have been able to get the toss, and that's probably just Aegis down right there. That would have been a really big win, because then if they do commit, you know, Slark can buy back, there's a potential for them to actually kill heroes. But because he didn't blink close enough, it's kind of tricky with Tiny sometimes, because your auto attack range is actually longer than your toss range.
Yeah.
So you blink it, and you're like, oh, I don't got him.
Crit tosses away Quakefoot, but it looks like he might be caught again. Taiga keeping damage on him. No, he gets the blink off. Oh, nicely played there. Meanwhile, on the other side, Boxy jumps forward, tries to find Ramses. He's getting caught out. Does he get hit by the AA Blast? He will. Now another round of Avalanche. The clumsy net used as well. But with the Aegis expiring, is this going to be the signal for Liquid to back off, or do they want to keep this pressure on?
Radiant's top tower.
It is a bit scary. Slark's going to be respawning. The TA is still alive and kicking. I wonder if he actually finishes Bloodthorn before getting a Nullifier. I think Nullifier is actually so important for them in this game. If Fly's not going to get enough money to go for that Ags. Leap forward there. No fear on this Void.
Yeah, he's feeling good about himself right now. DD Abed. Believe that one was spotted. Do they want to make something happen with this? They don't have Veno for 20 more seconds. It's really tough. Jump forward, another blink away in response.
Aggressive word, I think, yeah. I'm surprised he didn't chrono that.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of those things where it's his reaction time versus you knowing he's there.
They got him. Crit, needs to run, chase forward. Time dilation, has the Yule Scepter, blink away, gets it off. Dude, these blinks have been clutch, but now they find it. There's going to be the chrono onto 2. Is there any follow-up afterwards to blow up both of them? Yes, indeedy duty. Ramses gets his ultimate off afterwards. The BKB comes out, but he's also muted. So doomed up Slark, who is also BKB. They drop the Meteor Hammer down onto 2 of them. A huge play from Taiga, able to take down Ramses, and now running after Fly. This tree is a freaking monster, although it looks like he is going to get brought down afterwards by the Slark as well as the TA. So they managed to get out of there. It did force a buyback by Crit, but a big win for Liquid.
Huge economic damage dealt there. That was a 5K lead they just gained by forcing those buyouts. That overgrowth was so good because Crit was like fully committed to chasing down on the void, and like Abed bought back and did the same thing. They both ran in, right? They want to try to kill Mickey because they know his stuff's down, and that overgrowth just cuts the fight in half. The rest of the team can't follow it,
and they're not even gonna be able to get a tower. They pop the repair kit as soon as they get up, kill off the wave. Oh, maybe Mickey though. Abyssal Blade reveal. Can they catch him? Can they kill him? Tries to take it. The silence comes out afterwards, bringing him down low and dead. Boxy's nearby, though, does not have Doom. A Blast doesn't end up connecting only onto Abed. But Arteezy's still strong and beating into him. Can they take this guy down? Quake was here as well, so they are going to lose Fly. But Arteezy feels like this is my time to fight. He's got 33, 34 Essence Stiff Shacks and keeps on chasing after for more. A triple kill for Arteezy. That was all cores.
All right. Well, I mean, we still might have a game on our hands, I guess.
Yo, he's got. I mean, they knew 41
they
stacks.
knew the 2 ults were down. That's the big thing. Like every time that EG realizes, hey, Doom and Chrono are down, we're just gonna go. Like we're gonna pedal to the metal, no fear, walk up the hill. I don't care. It needs to happen.
Yo.
And that's that's the hallmark of a good team. When they know that even walking through those choke points, it can be real scary, but they know the AoE stuff is down, so they do it anyway.
All right, 25 seconds. They pop in this repair kit. They want to keep the creep wave alive on EG if at all possible, but it's already gone. They have another one coming in, and they've already forced out the Doom buyback. And it looks like Roche still a minute and a half before it's capable to respawn. So Ice Blast going to scout that one out, realize nobody is there. What an interesting game.
I mean, the fact that it's not up is great news for Liquid, right? Because that means they're going to have time for their Void to respawn, they don't have to commit buyback on the Lesh, and they're going to have all of their ultimates at their disposal. And as of this moment, like 37 minutes in, EG have not been able to win a single team fight when Chrono's involved. Not even one.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So with that being said, I would assume the next engagement to go a little bit, more of the same.
Right.
They did get a huge amount of gold, though. That was a 9K swing, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
From the whole chase down into the Liquid Shrine, and now we talked about Fly being able to live through some engagements. He's almost halfway to eggs.
Big stuff. If he can get it done. Of course, level 20 is when you get that GPM talent for him that kind of ensures it. But
yeah,
this Abyssal Blade's making a pretty big difference. Sees some heroes, needs to jump away. Boxy not able to get in range for the Doom.
He didn't make it down.
Oh god.
He actually TP'd because he was like, screw this, I ain't waiting.
Dude, if they had a ward up there, can you imagine? Holy shit. Oh,
by the way, Insania did get a full Lotus. So
okay.
That's a really good item pickup by him. He realizes what TA is going to eventually transition into. He's already got the Helm of Iron Will in his backpack, so Abed is going to not finish the Bloodthorn and go for the Nullifier, realizing its importance in this game.
Well, smoke up from EG, wanting to find a couple Scragglers, but nobody there. They do have that Ags done on the Venomancer.
Yeah, I think he finished that after the mid-fight, I want to say.
Yeah, the most recent one.
This is good warding from Liquid, though. They have the Roche Vision up, ready to go. I would like to see them drop at least one sentry in the river. That way they can be like fully prepared. And the TA trap is in the pit from EG. So EG already know that Roshan's up.
Right.
It's just going to be about, who takes the better engage. Buyback status is going to be real important here. Abed with no buyback. Crit with no buyback. And then Boxy, Insania, and Taiga do not have buybacks either.
Crit, seeing if he can sneak away this outpost. And it looks like they're going to let him have it. TP are not going to come. Nullifier done on Abed. Like you said, no buyback because of the timing on it. But that does not mean that he needs to be that concerned because he does have the Meld Bash. He's got Nullifier, got Orchid. Could be some scary stuff. Spell Prism.
It has to go to the Veno, right? Yeah. It's a really good Veno item.
Yeah. Super solid. And a regen.
Oh, and a Minotaur Horn. That's actually huge as well.
Who got that one?
Right now, Koifa has it in his backpack, but I'm not sure if he's gonna. He has to swap it in for the bracer, right?
Careful, careful.
Mid-lane.
Jump forward, find him. Boxy tries to go for the Doom, but they get the Shadow Dance off, but there's going to be the Chrono. It connects onto both of their heroes. Ice Blast going through. Is it going to be enough damage, though? There's so many of them that are taking the DPS, and it looks like Slark is able to get out for the moment. Can he escape fully, though? No. Buys back now. What else can EG do? Abed has an opening here, but he can't really jump onto these heroes. Blink Dagger being broken by that Ice Blast. He will have it again in a second. Insania tries to TP away. And it looks like they get the pull back in onto the Void. Insania falls. 3 dead for Liquid. Big plays.
This is so bad for Liquid. Okay, I don't know if he caught it, but Abed blinked the Chrono.
Oh my god.
So he get, like, Arteezy gets Shadow Dance off to cancel the Doom cast, and then they Chrono because he sees both cores standing on top of each other. Like, Abed and Arteezy were both hitting Doom, right? Because Abed Meld struck him, which is what stopped the second Doom cast, and then he blinks to the right, dodges the Chrono, and then they kill the hero with buyback. If Abed dies there in the Chrono because he doesn't blink, he can't buy back.
Right.
And then that fight is just horrible for EG. That blink quite literally saved that fight for them.
Quick fingers on the keyboard, and now you've got 4 heroes dead on Liquid. This is looking like it's one of those moments where you walk up this hill, see that there aren't really that many buybacks. I mean, granted, it's only 20 seconds, but the repair kit, the Nemesis, we'll see if they can make it work. They're trying to tank through this one, if at all possible. The Glyph also working. They've already used the repair kit. It's going to last a while longer, but it looks like they will be able to burst through it in the end.
Yeah, the minus armor.
Out, second lane of Rax. They don't have Chrono for 50 more seconds.
I mean, there's tier 2s in the other lanes. This is all they can get.
Yeah.
They don't get anything else. They might, like, stay around bot and try to get the tier 2. Chrono's still 40-ish seconds. They should have a pretty good idea when it's going to be up.
Yeah, but the thing that feels really tough about this now, right, is that you've got Aegis on Slark. So if you try and take the fight now, you have to commit like one of those big ultimates to be able to take him down and kill him. Where do you get the second life?
Yeah, that's the problem, right? Liquid have what we refer to as a one-rounder team. Is then they cast all their ults, and if you're not dead, well, shit. That's a problem. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what happened in the last fight, right? So they threw all their ultimates into the Chrono, and obviously Arteezy was the recipient of all those buttons, and then he just bought back, you know. And then he comes right back into the engagement, and that's okay. You're trading money for winning the team fight that's going to allow you to secure Roche, and that's, you know, it's a good investment. So it's the same this time around, except he's just going to respawn for free, and you're probably going to have to Chrono someone else.
Okay. Well, we'll have to watch and wait and see. As you mentioned, the buybacks were used by both the Veno and the Slark on the side of the Radiant. So if you lose one of, well, the Veno, since it's going to be Aegis on the Slark, if you lose the Veno, it could potentially be a tough one. And there's one of the other big items to watch out for. Aghanim Scepter for the Disruptor.
Yeah, this game got real out of hand. That mid fight, oh god, that mid fight that's the stuff of nightmares.
Yeah.
Like when you get that Chrono and like it takes you so much of a commitment to kill the Slark, and your team's getting chased down by the TA. The Slark just has buyback regardless. You know, you kind of have to expect it a little bit. Like obviously they can't know that the TA didn't have buyback.
Right.
But if you had to choose between, you know, killing the TA or the Slark was still Shadow Dance when the Chrono came out. So you're obviously going to target Abed there.
Yeah.
That's why it was such a big deal that he blinked the Chrono, because he would have been the only person that could have hit. And then he would have just gotten smushed, and then, you know, maybe the whole thing goes a lot differently for Liquid.
And now they got a better Doom with some ninja gear in her backpack. This is a scary-ass moment to be a Liquid hero and be on your own, because I think if Abed finds anybody, they probably just die.
Oh, yeah.
Dire's top shrine has fallen.
So 44 minutes in, it's a 3,000 gold lead for EG. You can see that the swing back the other direction happens around these team fights where on one of them, Arteezy just takes advantage of ultimates on cooldown, and then the second one, Abed able to blink away from him. Now, if you're Liquid, gotta compose yourself, try and get back on the front side of this, and maybe get some good scouting down with Tiger or something. He's gonna be going for the Aghanim Scepter next himself. Vision oftentimes being the defining thing in these fights.
Yeah, it's really important to see your target. Like, if you can see, for instance, that, you know, EG were clumped up, smoked together, and you just have the Void ready to go and you have a ward, then the fight becomes super easy. They're going to run into each other here.
Danger, danger. Abed's there. They know. Boxy moves in. There's the Doom to start the fight. The Chrono! It hits zone of 4! Oh, it's the big ol' ultimate, but do they have enough damage on all the rest of them? They didn't quite get it. There's the buyback immediately onto 2, and now they don't have any of the ultimates. They're in the bog. All of those wards down. Liquid need to escape. They gotta get out now, and it looks like they might be able to. There's no chase down.
Yeah, that was really fortunate that they were able to just immediately run away there. But that's, again, Chrono on cooldown for 160 seconds.
Oh.
They're going to just run down bottom. Without Chrono, like, the Aegis on Slark is still there. But that Chrono was good because it's the type of Chrono where you're making the concession that you know that you can't really go on the Slark.
Right.
If you Chrono him, he respawns, you know, the fight goes disastrously bad. At least now they're forcing EG to expend some resources. Now, they might end up losing the racks for it. Let's see how many buybacks they actually have. Okay, everyone has buyback. So they should still be able to hold.
Yeah.
And it looks like EG are respecting the hill, and they're not going to walk up it right this second. But that's the kind of Chrono that I feel needs to happen, even if it ends up that you take some base damage. Because otherwise, you're never going to reach a win condition, right? If you don't make the people use buyback, but then when you walk up their hill, they're going to have buyback, and then you're going to get pushed back anyway.
Right.
So now at least you have a window of opportunity. It's no longer just, oh, we're going to have to Chrono into buyback first, and then we'll be able to win.
Well, and like the desire there, I understand it to just sort of like run down a lane and try and make something happen with these buybacks, but it also feels as if you're kind of losing out now because you have that window that you're talking about as Liquid. Oh, man.
Invisibility.
Well, they only have another 60 seconds for the Chrono.
Right.
And then if they have another smoke, they can do something similar. And they do. Insania's got one extra smoke in his backpack. And I would assume that they would probably just do that anyway, because you can't obviously win the game sitting in your base. Mm-hmm. And the longer you wait, the more likely that it is that the enemy cores are going to have buyout regardless.
Right, so that's true.
It's, I mean, it's obviously easier said than done. Like, I've been in this position a million times where you're sitting in your base and you're like, man, we really should try to do something. But it's really tough when the map is dark. They have no obs on the map at all.
Yeah. And
EG's vision can see, you know, them leaving from top if they're not smoked, and it can also see a little bit into the bottom triangle area as well.
Yeah.
So it's something that's going to have to happen right now. They're just trying to bait Koikfa, I guess. He is very tanky, though.
They have 10 seconds until Chrono's back up again. So this is now such a great window for Liquid. Like, fact they were able to get the buybacks, fact that they were able to back out of the fight, and then after that EG weren't able to take advantage by pushing bottom. This is all working out great for Liquid. The question is, can they take the next fight as emphatically? And again, this is a lineup from Liquid that is really good. It's the full 5-on-5 and you hit your spells.
Yeah, like that. The Chrono from Mickey bottom was superb. Like, you can't really ask for a better Chrono than that. Like, he hit the right heroes, they kill them, force the buyout, and then, you know, they skedaddle. That's perfect. They're trying to get back out on the map now. They spot out some illusions from Abed here. Yeah, I don't know. If I was Liquid, I'd be going for it. Like I said, it is, you know, spooky.
Right.
You always run the risk of not hitting your spells correctly or chronoing the wrong target or whatever. Abed blinks it like he did in mid.
I think also they're out of smokes right now. So they might be waiting for that. Oh, no, they have one on tree. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, and Sania has a smoke as well. They have smokes.
All right. Looks like Taiga only 200 gold away from finishing off his Aghanim Scepter, but you obviously want to also be saving for buyback in this type of a game. I don't know, that's one of those items that, like, the earlier you can get it out, it's like really nice to be able to. I wonder if it'd be worth it for him just to go all in and get it. Probably not. It's probably how you lose.
Well, the thing is, Liquid don't really want the game to stall.
Yeah.
That's actually not what they want here. They want to go. Yeah, they smoke up mid.
They're gonna run right into Slark. Oh, the long wraparound.
Under attack.
This is a good path to take, though.
Moving in. Who do they find? It's a trap. I'll take it. It's a trap. Get out of there. It's a trap, my guys. They all
they
evacuate.
didn't see it in time. Oh, he was behind the tree.
Oh. Nighttime vision. And it looks like they are going to be able to escape. And that's also both outposts. Obviously matters less at these later stages, but getting 25 on some of these supports and then also being able to get closer to the 30s. Really nice.
Yeah. I mean, Crit's level 24 right now, and he's a 4 position, so
Yeah.
he gets that that level 25. He's either going to get the toss charges or the 9-second Ava cooldown. It's good stuff. Like, no one's ever going to complain about a long game as a support because you get a lot of stuff that you don't normally have access to. Liquid moving forward here again. Boxy's got his Shadow Blade. There's actually not a sentry here.
And they find him. So Ramsey's just going to get force staffed away. And a very long cooldown as Abed letting him know how he feels about it. 50 minutes.
Yeah. It's a tough situation, honestly, for Liquid because they've reached the stage in the game where everyone's going to probably have buyback again.
Yeah.
And then what'll happen is Chrono will be used, similarly to what we saw bottom. They'll get a couple of kills, and then the buybacks will happen, and they'll be forced to back. And if they keep like going back into this passivity, it's just going to keep repeating itself. And the other thing is, EG are less ultimate reliant, right? Like the Slark and the TA can just sit there and swing, and they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But they kind of need Doom. They need Chrono. They need Ice Blast. Otherwise, you know, these cores just aren't going to go down. So in terms of who has the better buyback hero, it's pretty much EG.
By the way, we have a 4-second cooldown on Avalanche right now. He took the talent and he's got the Spell Prism. So this is a very, very tough Tiny to deal with. Especially with the BKB charges getting lower and lower. 5 seconds on that Void. We're at 9, actually. Oh, Abyssal, though. Got him caught. Koikva. All right, he's going to be able to get out of there.
Give him some tickling.
Chase. Mickey looking for the opening. Building it up. They got the Static Storm down, and that's going to be an Axe one. They got him caught with the Ice Blast. They don't need the Chrono. They all group together anyways, but I don't know if it matters. They've got so much chase down. They're living through that Ice Blast, and now Koikva, his BKB is going to wear off anyways. They pull them both back in that static field. Can they chase him? Can they kill him? Chasing from Abed. The silence is there as well, and Arteezy on top of them. They all have buybacks, but it looks like they're going to lose at least 3. And another round of these avalanches. Crit just keeps on going. They're going to wipe them all.
Yeah, that... I mean, that's a tough situation for Mickey there. They do have triple buyback. Taiga's the only one who's not going to be able to return to the fight. Chrono is still available. Doom is CD for 15 because they use the Doom on the Venom in the mid lane.
Oh, another round of it. This is dangerous. He did buy out for that Aghanim Scepter like we were talking about. Needs 60 more gold. They're trying to hold this buyback on the Void if they can, but the pressure is coming, and they finally decide to go. There's going to be the Doom onto the Slark. They don't quite manage to get him. The Chronosphere, it connects onto 3. It's good. Ramses walks into it afterwards, but they are going to be able to kill off Slark, but he buys back immediately, trying to run back in, but there's the Void caught. He's going to go down. Mickey in some trouble, tries to get the Sonic. He gets the jump away. That's going to be enough to keep him alive. Liquid licking their wounds and trying to escape, but Insania is going to drop, and now Crit, this big bad rock man, chasing him down and able to find one after another as he gets the +1 kill, and it's on a big one. That Lesh goes down. Looking for more. Crit wasn't quite able to find that Doom, but now with just these 2 left, it is looking like EG might have finally done it and been able to punch their ticket to the upper bracket and possibly sending Liquid, barring a miracle here, into the lower bracket. The buyback comes out from that tree. They've got the heals coming in from a second, but the Mute is there. The Static Storm is there. The Void is going to drop. No answers. EG, they take it in this best of 3.
Yeah, really well played in the third game. Liquid kind of got trapped into their I don't know, like something happens during like the mid late game to this team where they all of a sudden become like paralyzed and they just don't. They tried to smoke once, but they smoked really late.
Yeah.
Like they knew that heroes bought back. Like they knew because they saw the buybacks and that's why they ran. And then they had this window where Abed had spent like all of his money and he had nothing. Obviously, they can't know that specific aspect of it. But those windows, you have to try to abuse them. You can't just sit back. You can't just sit on your high ground and hope that the enemy team is going to overextend. Because at this stage in the game, Chrono is really not that scary anymore.
Yeah.
Especially when you know that you're always going to have a core who's going to be able to get back into the fight within 20 to 30 seconds. If you can't finish everyone off in that time, which good luck. Tiny's super tanky, bought a bunch of mobility items. Ramsey is a super tanky. These heroes just last too long. So these one round teams that end up going to like 45, 50 minutes, they run into this issue where they need more than one chrono or they need way more damage in order to secure these kills. And even if they do, the heroes just come right back. And then, your one round team becomes a little bit of a liability. So I think that Liquid kind of missed their timing. They also really messed up by letting EG walk into them at their shrine.
Yeah.
Like that was kind of the straw that broke their back this game, I feel, is when they let themselves get ran down like that. That was like a 9K swing.
No, totally. It was such a big momentum shift. And there were quite a few of those throughout the game. Like early on, even like that 20-minute mark, it was just looking like Team Liquid had what they needed to sort of close it out, just with that super strong combo, hitting it on the Slark, taking him out of the game. Abed really wasn't able to do all that much, it felt like, throughout a lot of this. And then, you talked about it, this sort of mini Doom that you got comes out and he's suddenly killing everybody. Man, what a great series. And for sure, not Team Liquid knocked out at this point. They're just going to be playing in a best of one in the lower bracket. This does mean that EG are going to move on in the upper bracket. They're going to have to face off against one of the seed ones, I believe, in that upper bracket. But that's going to do it for us. Andy, any final, how'd you feel about the whole series so far? How are you feeling about Group D? How are they going to do in the main event?
I honestly, if I saw the other games in the other groups, I'd probably be able to give you a better idea. But I'm still thinking that the favorites of the tournament are probably not in this group. But EG looked to show some, promising games. And I think that they always have. The thing about EG is they always know how to win.
Right.
Like they don't necessarily always execute it, but they always seem to have the idea of, okay, this is our win condition. Like this game, they kind of showed it, right? They went in when they knew the buybacks were, or the ultimates were on cooldown. They forced it. Even if it's scary, you got to go for it. And EG does that. So that kind of gives them that little X factor. They may not be like the best on paper team at the entirety of DreamLeague, but I think they got a shot to potentially upset some teams. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do.
What about the number one team in this group, Na'Vi? Are they back in 2020?
Yeah, Na'Vi really surprised me. They played extremely well. I would say of everyone in Group D, they probably played the most solid games.
Okay.
Like their strategies were really good. I always liked their drafts, which I never thought I would say about Na'Vi ever since Puppy left. I don't know what it was, but as soon as he left that team, man, every time I saw a Na'Vi draft, I was just like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah.
And then, now with this new iteration, they seem to be pulling it together. So I'm stoked. It's always nice to see teams, come back from that kind of obscurity where, once upon a time, they were this all-star awesome team. Then they went through a lot of changes. They had some semi comebacks, but nothing really ever major. Maybe this team can be the one to make them shine again. Who knows?
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us. Shout out to all you fine folks out there. We are done with our casts for the major. It was a lot of fun, again, to watch all these crazy, crazy teams in Group D. But now the main event's going to be starting in either a day or a couple days. I actually don't know when it starts, but it'll be around. So be sure to check that one out. And then again, Andy, thank you for being a boss. What a guy. Any final words?
It's always a pleasure, Gabe. I'll just say that.
All right, sounds good. Adios, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Go watch some more Dota or go play some more Dota. In general, just have a nice time. See you later.